Athanasiadis-Polykarpos, as you may know, but you can call me Tassos. I know. And I will present about the science behind laser tattoo removal. And yeah, this is like of our age thing, because yeah, in this age, you know, the young age, yeah, we are thinking about it, about making a tattoo or not. What are the side effects? Yeah, I will show you. So, I can use this. Okay. Let's see first the content. Firstly, I will speak about tattoo physics, why the tattoo is permanent, and how the tattoo does exist, finally. And then I will continue to the main theme in my project, which is about the laser tattoo removal. After that, I will speak about the types of lasers, which lasers are used to make the removal, and what is the human body contribution to all the whole procedure, and finally the pros and cons of the whole process. You know. Okay. So let's see first what is this material that is goes into our organism. The tattoo ink is composed of a pigment and a solution, the carrier. The pigment, as you can understand, is what is the one that gives a color to the tattoo. If it's black or yellow or red, or you can understand. And the carrier, it can be a substance or a mixture. And what is the purpose of the carrier is to keep the pigment evenly distributed in a fluid matrix, and to prohibit the growth of pathogens, and moreover, I don't remember, but there are other two purposes, I think. Yeah. And the ingredients of the carrier can be these ones, which are the most common and the safest. But yeah, usually they're used toxic and carcinogenic, maybe, or mutagenic ingredients instead of them. And you can read, actually, it's the most safest are ethyl alcohol, purified water, with hazel, glycerin, propylene glycol, glycerin, or glycerol. And yeah, after this, we can see the ingredients of the pigment, which are different, corresponding to the color. And as you can see, most of these, or all of these, are made from metal, like metal salts, and this is contrary to popular belief that the dyes are vegetable. They are not. They're mostly metal, from metal, and yeah, that's about the ink. So let's continue. Let's continue to how the tattoo is can be done. So here it can be done with a tattooing machine. The first tattooing machine, the first modern tattooing machine, was modeled after the engraving Edison's machine, yeah, and it works by electricity, and yeah, it pierces at a frequency of 50 to 3,000 times per minute. And it reaches the dermis and not the epidermis, as you may know. And yeah, our dermis, not on the epidermis. And if it was on our epidermis, then it would be disappeared after 2 weeks maybe or something, because as you know, we shed our skin, we lose every day, we lose 4,000 cells per hour, from our skin, and this is like 1 million per day, something like this. And as it pierces, it causes wounds. And as you know, the wounds make the inflammatory process begin. So, let's see what is the inflammatory process. Okay, when the wounds are created, immune system cells, which are called macrophages, are in the site. And what is the role? They respond to the substance invading the body. The substance here is the dye that's getting into our body. And the role is to clean up by engulfing the ink particles. So, they eat up the ink particle, and then they get into the lymphatic system, to the lymph nodes, and they are excreted by the liver. Okay. So this is their role, but what's the outcome finally? Some of them are carried back with a belly full of dye into the lymph nodes, while others remain in the dermis. The others are the macrophages with the ink in them. They are not going into the lymphatic system, and that's why we can see the tattoo from outside. And there are two other reasons. Some no-engulfed ink particles are suspended in the gel-like matrix of the dermis, while others get soaked into dermal cells, which are called fibroblasts. So, the three last reasons is why the tattoo exists. And the first reason is why the tattoo fades over time, because the macrophages all the time try to go and engulf the ink particles and take them to the lymph nodes, to the lymphatic system. So, but why the tattoo is permanent? Here we can see ink particles, which are obviously the black ones, and the others are the blood cells, white blood cells or red blood cells. They have the same size, but you can see that the ink particles, some of them have the same smaller size than the white blood cells or the macrophages, while others, the ink particles, these particles, are bigger than the blood cells. So, what's going on there? The white blood cells try to eat them, but they cannot, because they are bigger. It's like you try to bite a ball or something bigger than your mouth generally. So, that's why the tattoo is permanent. But it fades over time. After a long time, the tattoo can fade. But after someone make a tattoo, maybe after a long period, they want to get rid of it. What they can do? There are two ways of removing a tattoo. The first way is using laser, and this is our thing today. And the second way is by plastic surgery. And as you can see, the aesthetical outcome is obvious, right? I think that we all prefer the laser, but if you don't, this is our thing, so. Okay, so what's the plan? The plan is to break down the ink particles, the alien ink particles, into smaller pieces, so the macrophages will be able to engulf them and take them to the lymphatic system. That's the plan. What can we achieve by using laser? So, assuming that the laser and the ink and the ink are in the right color, which means that the ink particle absorbs the wavelength of the laser. So, if this happens, photothermolysis is the process that can occur. Yeah. And let's see step by step. Let's examine this phenomenon. So, in the beginning, we heat up very fast the ink particle. Yeah, and only the one side grows due to thermal expansion. Yeah, and that's why we heat up very fast. The downside, this side, does not heat because it cannot catch up. So only the upside can feel the heat, and due to the heat, grows. So while the other side remains cool, the upside is going like this, and due to the internal stresses, the ink particle finally splits. Yeah, it's split. So that's how we break the ink particles into smaller pieces. And now, and here we can see the result. We have the ink particle there, the first one before the laser heat, and here we can see that the macrophages who are coming, now they can engulf the ink particles and take them back to the lymphatic system in order to clean the organizer. So it's a time game. You understand that if the heat is not very fast, so the whole ink particle will be in high thermal state. The heat will be dissipated. So our job will not be done. So we have to heat up very fast. The faster you can heat up one side related to the other, the more likely you can rip apart the ink. And here we can see practically what is going on. The laser hits the tattoo, and this area is white, yeah, and this is called the white effect, and it's called frosting. And it only lasts for a few seconds. It is basically a shock wave that is happening at the particle level. So, let's continue to the types of lasers. Firstly, I have one that we already learned through the lectures. It is the end-YAG, the QE switch YAG laser. The end-YAG is a crystal, the neodymium doped yttrium aluminum garnet, and which is used for the active medium in the laser. And it belongs to the solid state lasers category. This laser has a wavelength of 1064 nanometers and has the capability to reach deeper layers of skin tissue than other types of lasers. That's why it's useful to us, or for us. Q switching makes the laser to produce laser pulses. Yeah, and that is what we need to have a very fast heat up. And when it's Q switched, when we have this modulation, the laser produces two wavelengths. The one that we saw before, and the second one at 532 nanometers, which is useful for superficial skin installations. But apart from this, the two wavelengths are useful for a bigger variety of colors that we want to remove. Because as we saw, we want the ink particle to absorb the wavelength. and more wavelengths, so we can have a better result. So blue, gray, and black tattoos can be removed, and the typical settings are pulse duration 10 nanoseconds, and the output energy is from 300 to 500 millijoule. And another one, which is the most advanced, I think, for tattoo removal. I found this, it is the best something like for this period, is the PQ4 laser, which is an acronym. P is short for picosecond, Q is short for Q switched, and 4 denotes that this laser produces 4 different wavelengths, the 2 that we saw before, and 2 more at 585 nanometers and 650 nanometers. And this is a big benefit about more colors to get removed. And with this laser, it's easier to remove the bright colors. The bright colors are the most difficult ones to get removed. As you know, the black absorbs all the type of wavelengths, and as the brightest, as the difficult. And we have the option of larger spot sizes, up to 15.5 millimeters. Larger spot sizes is a nice benefit because it can penetrate deeper to the skin, and without having to increase the power that we use, so that reduces the risk of scarring by the tattoo removal. And let's see the human body contribution. As we examined, the inflammatory process is the one that is the very process that can finally remove the tattoo with the macrophages. And the second point is that the farther away from your head is a tattoo, then the longer the process can take. And that is because if it is away from your heart, so the macrophages will take, will be slower to reach the spot, and that's why it can take longer. If it's near your heart, so the blood cells can arrive there faster. Tattoo removal results are individualized for everyone and with each tattoo. And that's because each of us has a different organism which responds differently to tattoos and laser, And moreover, our health play a big role on the results that we get. And that means that if we have a cold, or we smoke cigarettes, or we are sick or something, the immune system has already a job to do, so the whole process about removing the tattoo will be longer, because it has more job to do. And finally, let's see the advantages and disadvantages. Well, the advantages, I think that you can guess them. The process is relatively painless, and which means that the patient can feel only a heat up on his skin, and it's non-invasive, which means that there will be no bleeding, and it has high success rate with minimal side effects. So it is preferable. But let's see the disadvantages too. Multiple sessions may be required, which means that there can be 4 to 15 sessions, and it depends on the size of the tattoo and the colors that it includes, because, as I said, the brightest are the most difficult to get removed. It may cause skin irritation, because after the sessions, the skin gets red and it's sensitive to touch, so it it may cause skin irritation. And this irritation increases the risk of infection to our skin. It is good to have some antibiotics or something to hydrate our healing skin. And it's a rare case to have uneven skin color, and this can be done when the pigment of our skin reacts with the laser, and melanin produces. So in these cases we can see darker area of our skin. So then we have to use a sunblock to prevent the darkening, more darkening from the sun, because it's a sensitive area. And of course, it has a high cost. The cost depends on three parameters. The first is, of course, the size. Yeah, if it is bigger, so it is more difficult to remove it. More sessions. And secondly, is the sessions. Yeah, the more sessions, it will be more expensive for us. And the sessions, the number of the sessions, it depends on the technology that we use. If we use the Q-switch, the young laser, then the treatments that can be done are from 10 to 15, and the cost is about 50 to 800 per treatment, 800 euros, yeah, per treatment. And if we try to remove it by PQO4 laser, then the cost is about 200 to 2,000 euros per treatment. Yeah, and that's all. And so I recommend you to take a wise choice before make one, because to remove it it's more difficult from getting it. Thank you. Any questions?
Question. You said these inks are all like material, but materials are like metal.
The ink.
Yeah.
The ink is it is composed of
Metal.
yeah.
So you shoot it through like like small parts, right? And
Yeah.
it's like through your vessels and veins.
No, it's not. It is in our dermis. The big atoms that you saw in the microscopy is most of them are atoms of metal.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the ink, the metals will do no harm to the body.
Yeah, they may have. Well, I didn't say that there is always a way to create a safe ink, but it's more about the maker. About the maker can do anything he wants. Yeah. So always the ink is a mystery. We don't know. It is up to him, up to the maker. Yeah. Thank you. I think.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for this presentation. I found it very instructive and well organized. Didn't know